We haven't been back in the sound kitchen studio kitchen for quite some time, cooking in the Meth End of Town. But I wanted to revisit a recipe I made an early Meth End of Town video for, just because I hope this one works out better, or you can see how it worked out better. It always works out good, and it's a good recipe. It's a bizarre recipe. This is how you bake a cake in prison. I bought this sleeve of cookies for $1 at the dollar store. I used half of them. And this can of soda pop for 30 cents at the dollar store, and I used half of that. You can get both those things usually when you're incarcerated in some form or another. So all you do is, I've made this already. So I'm going to show you how it's done. But you take these sandwich cookies, you break them in half, you put the chocolate discs in one thing, and the icing, you scrape it off, and you put it in another container. And you do that until you got like 20 cookies, say. Then you take your bag, your cookie bag, and you crush up the cookies like we do lots of things here in the Meth End of Town. Crush them up like it's a ramen noodle. You want to get it as fine as you possibly can, okay? I'm just doing demonstrating here. But yeah, you just want to get it really, really fine. And you put it in the bowl. And you repeat that about 20 times. Then you take your can of soda and you add about half of it to the cookie mix. And you mix it up with whatever you got. And it should be pretty wet. Like, you should use about half the can of soda for about 20 cookies. And you microwave it for about 4 minutes in a microwave safe dish. I had a bowl like this, which is what I used. And then while that's doing that, you take your icing from the cookies and you add it to a little bit of water. You add a little bit of warm water and you mix it up, because that's going to be the frosting for your cake. If you have Kool-Aid powder or something like that, that's always a bonus. Yeah, or sprinkles. I had some sprinkles, but they got little moths in them, so I threw them away. But the thing about this is, the one mistake I did make on the cake I made is I added a little too much water to the icing. But I think it'll be okay. And I have a little bit more here to add on to it. Yeah, I definitely added a little too much water to this. But anyhow, I'm going to tell you, okay, I've said many times before, I've been a cook all my life in a professional capacity. Ever since I started working, I've worked in the food service industry. And I've been a baker. And I owned a bakery once, or a little restaurant that was a bakery as well. And I worked in a bakery twice as a baker of things. And you know, I was a Cajun chef for a while, and I made a lot of cool desserts there doing that. And I'll tell you, for what this is, for all this is 20 cookies like this, okay? Now you can use Oreos if you're like living uptown, right? Like I did this with Oreos once, and I added fruit punch powder, made a red velvet cake, and it was awesome. It was one of the best cakes I ever had in my life, okay? So, yeah, all it is crushed up cookies, because all the stuff that you need to bake a cake is in a cookie. And whatever the soda, like I guess the soda in the soda pop and the sugar and all that kind of pops off everything in the cookie crumbs and makes them, and this cake, I swear to God, it's the lightest, fluffiest cake. You would never believe it was made from crunchy little dollar store biscuits. You know what I mean? But this is what I got here. It's a little sloppy looking, but that's because, you know, it's a cake you bake in prison, for fuck's sake. That's where I learned the recipe. It's a friend of mine from prison. But I'm going to take a bite of it here and see how it is. And I bet it's going to be amazing. Because, you know, I've made this recipe. This is one of the weirdest recipes I know. And I've made it so many times. And every time I make it, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. No different. It's truly good. I always say, if you got $2 in your pocket and you need a morale boost, go to the dollar store, buy a can of pop. Doesn't matter what kind of pop you use. You can use any kind of pop. I just had this cola. I've used 7-Up before too. 7-Up works good. Or orange soda and vanilla cookies. Very good. But yeah, $1 worth of cookies. You can bake 2 cakes out of this. You know, like I only used half of the cookies and half of the pop, right? And you can bake a cake and say, I have a cake today. All is not lost. Okay, so that's a little recipe revisitation here in the Meth End of Town. I hope you're all having a good day. And I hope you stay well. Stay free. Talk to you soon. Bye.